rise or fall. Over an edge and having fun. Spot our futures, plan to run. Coffee and crank the day. Play the day.
All right. Hello and welcome to today, December 27th. I'm your host, Biz, coming at you live with Andy. Andy, it's been a decent day, I would say. Was trading with Becco earlier yesterday after the stream for a not too bad swing trade, although our entry points could have been a little bit better. But yeah, that ended up playing out, and it seems like it's playing out another move, which is awesome. But yeah, these are all things that we love to see. But before we carry on, Andy, how's it going, and how was your trading day?
Well, actually, I've done lots of trade setups because today was a working day for me as part of the Crypto Hub pivot, so I've not actually traded, but I've been testing the trading strategy on trades, which I will show you in a bit, right? And I think one of the coins is the one that you traded last night with Becco. So yeah, I'll show you that. In terms of market, the overall market is still down a bit, but we have had you'll see in a minute, we've had things go up. If I'm a little bit stilted with my voice, it's because there's loud music playing outside in the street because there's a wedding tomorrow. It's a family wedding, but where I live, they start their parties very early and the music's really loud. So I'm on headphones trying my best. If it gets terrible, I'll move to a different room. So anyway, the short-term trend is turned negative early this afternoon, my time. And the long-term trend has gone back negative, and that was because Bitcoin had a pullback. Oh, me is crossing up. I'll get to them in a minute. But overall today, Bitcoin's up about 0.82%, and the others started life, that's all the altcoins minus the top 10, started life this morning negatively, but then you'll see they had quite a bit of a leap up, and that was because Bitcoin had a sort of go up this morning and then had a drop back down and then went back up again. And it was interesting, that little drop down. I'll show you that on a different chart because what I've been doing today is honing the trading strategy, a trading strategy that we're going to be using in Crypto Hub. And as you can see here, this green line predicted where Bitcoin would fall to, with as it happened, almost 100% accuracy. But I'm sure it won't do that all the time, but it's pretty good like that. But Bitcoin did then go back up a good sort of 2 or 3%. It's now fallen back 1%. But it is generally, other than when it likes to drop a little bit, it's generally going up. So, we're sat around 96.5. Where do we go from here? I don't know. It's still Christmas time. Nobody's really working. The institutions are on board, and they won't be back till the new year. So it's still purely retail that are doing it, and possibly some whales. So let's move on to our little friend here, the altcoins and altcoin season. He's gone up a little bit from yesterday. I think he was down at 43, and now he's at 47. So that's going up a little bit. In terms of liquidations and stuff today, we're about, again, half really. They're kind of going down. I don't know why my Mac does that every time. They're going down. They were much higher. So, the market's quiet, and there are some very good trades to be had, but the market is quiet. And because Bitcoin has this tendency of doing these falls like this, like it did this morning, if you're trading long, you really kind of need to be watching Bitcoin to see what it's doing. So keep your eye on that is what I'd say. A little bit of news though before I go to the charts. Did you see this? Will Sam Bankman-Fried get a presidential pardon?
No way.
Because he gave 5.2 million donation to Biden's campaign.
Are you freaking serious?
Mm. So there's rising speculation that he might get a pardon.
Oh, okay. So it's not confirmed, but still, I mean, look at what happened to Hunter Biden.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's normal, I think, for presidents to pardon all kinds of people, right? If Trump gets in, he's going to pardon a ton of folk. So, well, Trump is coming in, not if he gets in. Will he do it? What would Sam Bankman-Fried do after that if he got pardoned? It'd be very interesting. So that was just an amusing piece of news that I saw today. Whether it's just, again, people making it up to try and get headlines, who can tell? So let's go to the charts, though, because if I go to this today, you'll see I've done a ton. This green line here, I don't know if you can see it on the stream. Let me just zoom in a bit. Is what I call the confluence long line. And this is where the trading strategy that we're using now, when all the confluences come together of the 3 or 4 factors that make up whether a trade should be long or short, I put this line on where they all kind of come together. So it gives you a good entry. And now what it allows me to do is set my stops confidently very tight and also set my profit targets. And as you can see, this one just, it's gone up even more since it's pulling back now, but it went up to 54%. But FAR has actually been a very good coin, right? We called it all the way down here. But I just did another setup today as part of documenting what we're doing in Crypto Hub and how we're going to teach people to do this. And then they'll understand when alerts come in what it is that these things mean. So that was one coin that's done really well. IMX, you'll like this coin, Biz, it's Web3 gaming, right? Again, the confluence line is down here, allowed me to have a very tight stop of 0.25%. But again, that's pulling back now, but that went over total, I think, 8%. But you would have got out earlier than that. Lunk was another one today. The stop was a bit bigger at 1.3%. But again, when all these confluences come together, it allows you to trade with confidence. And, and that I set in different profit targets, but that's gone up to 9%. And now an interesting one that happened today was GMT.
So when we talk about confluence, what indicators are sort of forming that zone?
Okay, so we're using, as you know, we use break-up structure, we use supply and demand zones, we use fair value gaps, and we use order blocks. And when you are looking at these, and you can see that one or more of these are aligning together, right? So you suddenly see that they're all coming together at the right time. You can then, if you're waiting for a coin to come down, or you want to get into a coin, you can confidently set your order ready to rock and roll at that level. And when it breaks through it and that confluence is confirmed, you can go in. So that's kind of how it is. And you can have like full confluence where everything comes together, or you can have less confluence. And then I'd just make my stop a bit bigger. Do you know what I mean? If I had less confidence, I'd put my stop a bit deeper if I wanted to go in. But if you get full confluence, then you can. You really can go in. Do you want me to show you them?
Oh, why not, right? Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to put a perspective, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just, So let me first of all stick on supply demand zones. Let me just update that. So what I do here is a daily, this is just mapped from the start of the UTC day, because actually that's when my working day starts. which the timing of that is very good. So first of all, you end up with a demand zone at the bottom and a supply zone at the top, which is very good. Then I put on order blocks. An order block, this is why the screen gets a bit busy, and that's why I end up with my confluence line. Maybe we take off supply and demand. So then you end up with order blocks. So you'll see the green ones are kind of long order blocks, right? And then the red ones are like for going short. So they're kind of short ones. And you can see that in this case, we had an order block here. And then when I put that back on, you can see that they started to overlap. And then when I put on fair value gaps, you can see that they need filling down here, right? So things have to get filled. So when I discover that, I find a line and say, well, if all of this stuff comes to fruition, I will go in. So that's kind of how I do it. Now, I don't necessarily do them all on the 15-minute table. There are GMT, I had to go down to the 5 to find the entry. But you can do these on any time frame. But because it makes the chart messy, I just turn them off.
Yeah, true.
So I end up with this confluence line. Oh, and by the way, what's really good about this, if I put these on, this case, it doesn't really count, but it will with this. So you look at the fair value gaps as you're going up. You can sort of go, well, it's going to come back to fill that at some point, right? So as it's going up, it starts generating these. So you can say, well, I can raise my stop loss to above that. So if it pulls back to there, I'm definitely getting out. Are you with me? And then it goes up again. So
are these fair value gaps related to volume at all?
No, they're related to, let me just stick them back. Let me stick only those on. Sorry, hang on a minute. I'm struggling with the music in the background, which is why I'm a bit, So they are a fair value gap is when there's like a pivot candle here, and then there's a move, sudden, like fairly sizable candle up. And so what's happened in this case with a bullish one is that the buyers have completely taken over from the sellers. And what tends to happen is it likes to come back and fill that gap. So it'll come back a bit like a demand zone or a supply zone. It'll come back like it did with that candle, and it will try and fill it. So that's kind of how they work. I'll see what happens when I turn it on with a different coin. Look at is Bitcoin having a pullback? Oh yeah. So you see, look, the ultimate indicator, big blue, is suddenly having a pullback.
Mm-hmm.
And look what's happening with the alts all of a sudden. Like literally, this is the ultimate indicator. If everything's doing okay and you wanted to go long, keep your eye on this, because you could suddenly go long, and if you were down here, like if it was at this point and you're about to go into your trade, you could get stopped out in a heartbeat. So you've just got to keep your eye on these things. And part of the confluence is, of course, Bitcoin, right? So what's the performance of Bitcoin right now? But if you look at this one, I'm on the 15-minute, right? I'm just going to switch everything on for a second. Because what happens is you can't see this box by the time you've got everything on. So you can see that everything came together. The line is hidden down here now. Everything came together. Mm-hmm. You've got the demand zone, you've got a fair value gap, you've got an order block. Do you understand what I mean? So now fair value gaps include things like markets, a break of structure. So it's not valid unless there's been a break of structure. So if I turn these off, you'll see here, this one was only formed because before it, there was a break of structure. Mm-hmm. And one of the previous candles came into it. Do you understand what I mean? There's a lot of rules around fair value gaps and demand, supply and demand zones and order blocks. So it's so you know that break of structure has already been a part of it. That's why I didn't really want to switch them on. Otherwise, you end up going deep down the rabbit hole, which I don't want to do really. I want to do that when we educate people in the server and we're having a call just about that. So, Lunk, have I done that one? Another one. Where was the one that you were trading? Were you trading?
Auction.
Okay, auction. Yeah. So, auction, as you can see, when you come down here, it's not really done a right lot, right? In fact, it's kind of where I put this on, it came down to it, and then I had to have a 0.44 stop. But even though it looks like a massive move, it isn't. It's only 4%. So auction still hasn't made its move. And if you remember rightly, we said there's still a chance it could come down back to this trend line. So it's actually one that I wouldn't trade at the moment. I would be keeping my eye on it. You know, so you'll see I've got alerts set here for going down. My going up alert must have fired. So let me put another one on. Yep, there you go. So Move was a coin that has been very good. Again, when Bitcoin was coming down, I used the supply and demand zone. There was a order block way back here. So I could see that coming down. And that's where I decided that there was confluences. And also when you put these confluence lines on, you can see it's like there's support and resistance at these lines also. Again, I'm struggling, Biz, because the music's very loud in the background here.
It's okay. We know you Airbnb the upstairs sometimes, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's just really music going do-doom, do-doom, do-doom. I think Discord's filtering it out, isn't it? But
No. To be honest, when you speak, we can hear a bit of it, but other than that, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, well, for me, it's like booming in my... yeah, what happens here is your windows start shaking. They seem to like a lot of bass. So yes, move. I just turn all these off now. Move did... Well, it actually went up further, didn't it? But let me see if I can show you... right, so you see now, if I just turn off that's why you can see why I put my profit target there, right? Because it's the bottom of a order block, a sort of bearish order block, where you expect it to close above it and then and then come back down to go short. So it helps me set my profit targets. Now today, one of the coins, can't remember which one it was it IMX? No, it wasn't IMX. Was it FAR? Oh, you can see it just went straight through this bearish order block here and mitigated it. So it closed above it, and now you get the red dashed lines, right? So so that helps me all the time as I'm going up. I'm going, right, I've actually turned off some of the, you can tell it to put order blocks and things further back in time, but I've switched them off. But there was one coin, can't remember which one it was, oh yeah, it might be this. So you can see here that you've got all these fair value gaps. So if I just switch everything off except fair value gaps, sorry, for some reason I've got that on. Then as the trade is taking place, hang on a sec. No, that's not the example because you don't, oh, that's right. When it pulls, it's pulling back here, right? And it's already got these fair market gaps, or these fair value gaps. So you can, as well as using the points of control, which are also very, very good, you kind of know here that there's this bearish one. So really, as it comes down, you should be getting out of the trade. You know, so if you're still in, you should be getting out.
Yeah.
So they're very, very good for setting everything up. Let me just turn that off. There was another one though where it broke through like almost everything today. Troy didn't do a lot. Maybe it was a different one. I can't remember. Maybe it was one of the Binance ones. These are all of the Bing X ones, but it might have been the Binance one that was doing it. I can't remember. But there was like lots of mitigated order blocks as I went up. But before, they weren't mitigated. So if this had been red here and I was trading, I would have said, well, I'm going to put my take profit there because it might get rejected at that point. So they're really good for that. as you're actually trading.
Yeah,
But
totally.
what I end up with is this. You can't really see it because it's on the same. Hang on a sec. It should be green. Why does that say CL line? And it's. Hang on a sec. There you go. I don't know why I changed that yellow. But anyway, there you go. So yes. So now that we've got the trading strategy done, the next step is that we're going to be putting the education together as part of the crypto hub. If the free members are going to receive, like if we're looking at say 7, 8, or 9 trades, you'll certainly get a few of them for free, and then the rest will be a part of upgrading, where you'll get truly educated, and we'll give you all of our recommendations. Now, obviously, I'm giving you these after the fact, but normally what would happen is I would be doing these setups before these were ready to trade. And that's when I will be sharing them in the crypto hub before they're ready to go in, not after the event like this. This is just showing you the results of what's been happening.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a really powerful tool. On top of that, the volume indicator profiles and things like this, like it's all, I think it's quite underutilized. And so,
Definitely.
utilizing them the right way to identify your zones, your confluence lines and things like that is actually quite powerful. So, yeah, I mean, this is really exciting times. I mean, just finding that alone actually opens up a lot more possibilities in terms of finding and identifying trade setups and minimizing the wait time. Because I think the wait time, my goodness, is like sometimes if you miss the trade, you can be waiting hours. And so,
well, I think the other thing is that even if we can educate someone how to do this, but then they've got to go to the charts and find the coins by doing it. Because I'm the software engineer of this project, we will be writing alerts that come in to say, and then when they come in, I will do a chart to do the setup to say this is getting ready to go. So you will not need to go find the coins yourself and do your setups yourself. We'll give you the setups so that you can then go to the chart and put it on.
Yeah,
and then you can get ready
alerts.
to go in. Yeah, set your alerts, get ready. Yeah. So we'll be kind of doing a lot of the legwork, so you don't have to look through 1,000 charts to try find the tradable coins today.
Yeah, isn't that what crypto wants? Done for you services,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right. Just give me the money. Yeah.
No, just tell me when. So yeah, no, it's cool. But yeah, this is exciting times. So this is if everyone's celebrating, this is the holidays time of season. So we suggest if you are gonna have fun over the weekend, to have a good New Year's, do it in a safe way and get home safe. And until next time, I think. Oh no, sorry. New Year's Eve is actually on a Tuesday, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know. Let me just have a quick
it
check.
is. It is. Okay. All right. Oh man,
So,
what a week! It felt like a holiday already. I thought
so
this
we'll be
weekend
here.
was New
We'll be
Year's.
here Monday, but not Tuesday because I'm going to a big party. So we'll be here Monday, and I don't know about. We'll keep you posted. We'll tell you on Monday.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all we have for today. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be hitting the charts. If you guys want to join the server, you can. We'll be chatting in the VC. But until then, we look to set up for our Crypto Hub HQ. So we'll be dropping updates on that. And until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe out there.
Yeah, and apologies for the stilted voice because of the booming music.